And as I began to listen, as the Spirit was leading me, it began to make me to understand that there is what is called a family kingdom. And hear me, every kingdom there is a king. Let me say it again. In every kingdom there is what? A king. And I began to ask the Lord, what do you mean a king? He said, tell them a king is not qualified by how much you have. It's not about how old you are. It's not about how educated you are. He said the king that reigns in a family kingdom is an ordained king from the mother's womb. And I said, who are the kings? He said, those who are qualified to answer the title of a father. A father is not a name. A father is a title. I say it again. A father is not a name. A father is what? At least with the revelation of what the disciples did in baptism made us to understand that is a title. My father have a name. Today I am a father. I have a name. We have a lot of fathers here. So that does not give you as a name. It's a title. You are qualified to be a father. Now, as the Spirit was revealing this to me, I got to understand that every father in a family is a king that rules the family kingdom. As the Lord told me that, He told me again there are two important parts that every king in a family should play. And one of the first parts is what I'm looking in this morning. And if there is no time, I'm going to conclude the second part by next week Sunday. And that first part is the part that we call the spiritual force. Somebody said the spiritual force. I can't hear you. Somebody said the spiritual force. So in every family, one of the things that matters is the foundation you gave to that family. The spiritual foundation you gave to that family. The spiritual foundation you gave to that family determines how far and how low the family will go in future. One of the things a lot of us has been having troubles in our lives today is because of the foundation, the kind of spiritual foundation the kings in your family has laid. This terms kings is your father. I'm talking about your father. That's what I mean, terms of the king. I began to discover one thing. Every family that will have a good future must have a good spiritual force that was laid as a foundation for that family to grow. That is why if you're a child of God, sir, you must have to lead your children. Remember that every father has a queen, every king has a queen. Is that correct? Your queen is your wife. Your prince and princess is your sons and daughters. In that family kingdom, you are expected as a child of God to lead them in the path of truth and make them to have an example of God in their lives. That is why if you're a king in your kingdom and you are a drunkard, there is every tendency that one of your sons will end up being a drunkard. That is why, what kind of foundation did you lay? What kind of foundation have you laid? And what kind of foundation do you want to lay when it comes to spiritual foundation? And I began to discover that the best advice I can give to every king of a family is to lead them in the path of righteousness and in the path of prayer. Let me teach you something. So in a family here, every morning, if you are the king of that family, you should be the one leading opening prayer in the morning. Hello. There are some families today, the person that is spiritually inclined is their wife. Is an error. Is what? Now some of you will be angry today, but can I tell you the truth? Is what? Is what? It is you in the morning that will wake up in the morning and lead your family into prayer. It is understandable that you as the king authorizes your wife to lead the prayer. It's understandable. It is equally good that you as the king of the house authorizes your prince and princesses to lead the prayer. is understandable. But it is wrong that you are the king of that family kingdom, and in the morning you do not lead the prayer. So in a family kingdom, a man is supposed to do what? Lead the prayer. You can permit your wife, you can permit your son or your daughter to pray. Thank you, Father. Ebube juru n'ime eluigwe, ebube juru n'ime eluigwe nam, ebube juru n'ime eluigwe nwanne m. Ebube juru n'ime eluigwe nwanne m, onye ebube n'ime eluigwe. So if you're a king here, when I talked about the king of a family kingdom and you don't know how to pray, it is what your children want you to do, is what they will start doing when they grow up. Sometimes you need to take everybody unaware as the king of the family. Sometimes you need to put yourself on a fasting as the king of the family, and you began to kabosh. You began to say something concerning your family. My children will not die. My children will excel. There are no doctors in this family, but from today I decree that my generation will see doctors. I decree that my generation will see engineers. People did not have opportunity to go to school in their own era. In my own family, the story will change. You began to say it. Remember, whatever that proceed out of the mouth of a king is a decree. It's a decree. Have you ever walked up as a king, as a father, and you began to kabosh, go back in your flat, in your house, in your compound, you began to pray, you began to decree, it shall be well with my family, premature death will not be our portion. You go to where your children are laying down, lay hands on them. Even if they wake up, you will tell them, no, baby, sleep. It is my duty. I am the king of this house. Let me exercise the priesthood of my life. You began to pray, it shall be well with you. You will succeed. You will grow. You shall be a governor. You shall be a king. Let me say something. Whatever you say as a king of that family, God honors. Even some of you, to rebuke your children is a problem. If you wear a miniskirt, you say, that's the children of these days now. Allow him. Sir, do you know if you have HND, OND, BSc, PhD, every qualifications in life, you have them because your father have money, and he has done everything for you to succeed educationally, and sir, you don't have character. You are illiterate. If you have an OND, have an HND, have a BSc, have PhD, and every doctorate degree and every connection, and you do not have a home training from your father and your mother, you are an illiterate.